Remembering the True Victims was formed to advocate for victims through education and never losing focus that they are the true victims of crime. I always use my daughter and my grandsons, I use the analogy of they're like a pebble that has been cast off into a pond, and the ripple effect just keeps rolling and rolling. Every time we tell their story, we add more people to those ripples. Our son, he's now an only child. He doesn't have a sister anymore. Our extended family, they are all part of that ripple. Gina's friends and the neighbors, they're all part of that ripple. And every time we tell the story, everybody that we add to those ripples, they'll never forget. There'll always be just a little bit of Gina, Sean, and Joshua that are part of their lives. When we go into an institution to talk directly to the inmates, we try very hard, first off, not to attack them. We are strictly telling our story, telling the story of our daughter and our grandkids, and how this crime has impacted our family.
Battered and torn, still I can see the
I'm here to talk to you today about domestic violence, and I'm here to tell you a story. And I'm going to introduce the players to you. This is my daughter, Gina. She was 26 when this picture was taken. My grandson, Sean, this actually was taken on his 3rd birthday. And my grandson, Joshua, he was about 3 weeks old when this picture was taken. This story is about them. And it's about their life and their death. You see, our son-in-law decided to set fire to the house that they lived in, and my daughter and 2 grandsons perished in that fire. On June 9, 1993, at a few minutes past midnight, our son-in-law poured gasoline in front of the couch, up the stairs, and right into Gina's bedroom. He lit a match and he walked away. He walked away while my daughter and 2 grandsons died in that house. He walked away while my daughter was trying to crawl to the window to get help. He walked away while my baby grandson, Sean, was trying to crawl under the bed to get to his puppy dog. He walked away with less smoke and carbon monoxide in his body than the firemen that came into that house with masks on. That few seconds that it took to light that match was the time that my daughter and my 2 grandsons' lives ended, and our lives changed forever. I love talking about my kids, and I really do enjoy telling this story because I do think it makes a difference. And I really think that every time I tell this story, you all can take something away with it. Anybody I tell this story to can take something away with it. Every story has a moral, and this one is no different. And I think the moral that we can learn from this is that it's okay. It's okay to have a problem, but it's not okay to have the same problem over and over again. Anger, you know, if you allow it to continue, it will kill you. You know, there's only one thing that I ask of you. As you go back to your cells and you replay this in your mind. This is a true American tragedy. This happens all over the United States, every single day. I want you to remember who the real victims are here. It's not the justice system, it's not the press, it's not the perpetrator, it's not us, the family. It's these 3 people. They are the true victims. They are the ones that aren't here anymore.
This is the first time since I've been incarcerated that I was able to hear, you know, something from the other side, another perspective, you know, from somebody that is involved in some kind of victim, you know, outreach program.
I believe I'll never forget what I seen today. And I believe that it also was a way of changing my life as I'm trying to change my life today. And I believe that this is just another step that I must take to become a better man, and I'm glad that she came and shared her presentation with me.
Because I was looking forward to this, because I wanted to hear a different perspective and see. We saw a lot and heard a lot today. That's I don't think neither one of us can go back and just say, oh well, you know what I mean? This 3 people gone, dead.
Something odd came over me. She reminded me of my mother. And I can imagine my mother doing the same thing she did today, as if it was one of her kids and something happened to me. And I can see my mother talking to my picture.
With so many inmates that have committed so many terrible crimes, I try not to focus on it, try not to think about it, but when you hear what we heard today, you know, it really makes you think about it, and it makes you, you know, very sensitive to victims' issues. We have decided to make victims' issues, being sensitive to victims' needs, a pillar of our administration and this agency. Everything that we do, we consider victims. Our goal is to be sensitive to those needs, to treat victims of crime with dignity and respect. We try to make our prisons accessible to them and to show them what life in prison is really all about, and most people really don't know that. And a whole other set of services to include victims' families in the process. We believe that programs such as Voice or victim impact panels where inmates have the opportunity to talk to victims and hear what kind of harm they've done to them and their families are very good, and we're going to try to do as much of that as we can.
We have been very rewarded with responses from inmates. We've had inmates tell us that they never thought about their victim until they heard of our daughter's story. We've had inmates say that they never put a face to their victim. They never thought about their victim's mother. We've had inmates say that they never thought about their own family and that they too were victims of their crime. Our goal is, and I share this when I talk to the inmates, that if just one of them walks out of there and remembers Gina and the boys, and they don't pick up their hand again in violence, they don't pick up a gun, they don't drive drunk again, they don't do drugs again, that if they get into the outside world, or even if they're in an institution the rest of their life, they stop for 1 second before they exert their anger. That 1 second may change somebody's life to the fact that there won't be a victim. And then they've done honor to our kids' memory.